I've had some people ask me about my training, and this is just a really quick video of what I do to really calm my nervous system down. So I'm starting with the deadlift. This is the bottom position. I'm doing 185, holding it for as long as I can. And then I move to mid range, and this is 205, and hold this for as long as I can. And honest, like I said, this is really to calm the nervous system down. It is to get strong, obviously, but it's more to calm my nervous system down because my job is a little bit stressful, like pretty much everybody's. So, what can you do in order to really give yourself a parasympathetic rebound? And a lot of this is isometric training really does help that. This is 225 at the top position. Once you get to a point where you're holding this for like how long I am, this is just too light of a position. So maybe I either make it a little more challenging by bending at the hips just a tad or just go up a little bit heavier because I don't want to hold for 20 to 26 seconds, kind of like what I did here. I want it to be more like in the 6 to 12, maybe 15-second round. So then I go into the front squats, bottom position here. I'm just using 105. I have a very hard time keeping my elbows up, and getting underneath the front squat is much harder than like coming down from the top. So it's a little bit challenging. You'll even see it more so here when I go into the mid-range position, which I'm using 115. Watch that butt lift first. Yeah. So this is not a great position for me. It's something I really need to work on. It's the very hardest position too in this movement is that mid-range. And then I go to the top position. This is 125. And that seems okay, but could I get my elbows up a little bit more, maybe drop just a little bit down a little bit more too? That would be optimal. But this, I'm really going for as much tension as I can create in kind of like a controlled fear-based state. Then I move into my pull-ups. This is chin above bar. I'm only using an 8K here because that chin pull-ups are hard as hell for me. So chin above bar, holding it for as long as I can with a good form. And then I go to the mid-range, which is just head to bar, and I'm holding a 12K on this one for as long as I can. And then the bottom position, even though it doesn't really look like I bent my elbows are bent, and I'm using a 16K here too, and holding for as long as I can, which ends up being somewhere around I think like 14 seconds maybe. And then the last position that I do is bench. So here I'm using 115, and I really love this stretch I get on the front of the shoulders. I love that feeling. And then I go to mid-range, and I'm using 125 here, which is my most challenging part. But I'm getting better at it, actually. I'm getting a lot better at it. And then I go to the top range, which is 155, even though it doesn't look like my elbows are bent. They are bent. And again, I hold this one for a little bit too long, but you'll see it actually touch the arms at one point, and I realize I got to keep pushing back up. So maybe it is okay if I stick at this weight. Anyway, that's my training. And if you're ever interested in more, just drop a comment, and we would love to talk with you about it.